All right. So today I woke up a little bit later than expected, but I went ahead and ran 6 miles, and I was pretty happy about that. Afterwards, I kind of just dicked around for a bit, really didn't do much of anything. I was supposed to go do an interview today with a job, and I happened to show up and not dressed in the proper fashion, so I gotta go ahead and change it up. Luckily, I was able to go ahead and reschedule for another day, um, 2 days from now. Fine. Then afterwards, I came back home and I read for a bit. But my biggest gripe with myself at the moment is freaking using social media so much. It's a prison. It's an unbelievable prison. There was a time in my life before social media. There was a time in my life when I decided not to have a phone or not to have anything um, ground me in the digital world. And in some ways, I'm not a complete, I'm not a luddite. I don't want to. I'm not a person that uh, is against technology, but I am very prone. I have a very addictive personality, so I'm very prone to just being dragged into a rabbit hole, and it's it is one of my resolutions is to be more uh, more to practice a sense of like more self control when using that. Um, Rode around a bit in town afterwards. Went straight to the gym. Took a small nap here, and went to the gym and did chest and triceps. The thing that does make me laugh is last year I was like my lowest weight was like around 215, 218, I think. I fluctuated between the two most of the time, and I've ballooned up to around 250 right now. So I'm at 250, and I see it when I see myself like in the video. Like I see the weight on my face. I see the way that I'm like, you know. But there's also like it's really good that I also have like I've been working out, but I haven't added as much cardio as I should, and that is one of my biggest things. I know without a doubt, and many experts, like from a lot of people that I'm reading, don't really do cardio, but for me, it has to. I know that I have to do it. Um, whether it's genetic or not, or whether that's the thing about this whole industry, or like the whole idea of like working out. It's just so mired in so many fucking like philosophies and all these different things. It's like it's overwhelming to understand what works. Um, there's no real cut and dry answer for anything, but I am prone to just going ahead and following somebody, or like if I read a certain line of like, oh well, case in point, the reason why I gained so much weight is because I felt as if like, oh well, I could eat like I was reading Mike Matthews, but I was a Mike Matthews whole thing with like bigger, leaner, and stronger. Like I do want to get more fit, but I read a few lines and I was like, oh, I could eat anything I want, and like as long as I'm working hard and working out, I could go ahead and you know not have to worry about it. Bullshit, but oh man, what can you do? Oh god, so I'm still sick. Well, with the ass end of it, probably like another day or two. Hopefully, I'm able to go ahead and function normally as a normal freaking human being. Back to what I was saying about the whole running amok. You know, I walk into that gym, and I was never like the most built motherfucker, but I was like slim at least. At least people would be like, "Oh, well, he's working out." But now, like, I walk in, and a lot of people that see me now, they're like, "Fuck, like this guy got fat," and you know it, and it's not paranoia, and I don't really care. You know, there's some people that are like looking at me, they're like, well, you gained, but you're back again. And I like that feeling. Like, I focus more on that. There's one dude that shows up. There's some like buff, well, I didn't say buff. Like he's like a really cut up black dude, and he saw me, and I'm like just doing lateral raises and shit. And he just like went ahead and like, that's what's up. I'm like, fuck yeah, like hell yeah. I look at that, I'm like, that's exactly the sort of motivation I need, because I see somebody like that uh, who I've noticed is probably the one of those few people that are like always at it and killing it. Because anytime I see him working out, I know he's working out. It's crazy. And then I suppose I want to go ahead and follow some along those like that along that same trajectory, being that sort of physically adept person. Yeah, I know for a fact that I do not want to end up being. I don't want to struggle in my old age. I've seen way too many people, and I hate comparing, but it's the truth. Comparing myself to like people that I know in my family, people that I know in life in general, that are struggling physically because they weren't uh, taking care of themselves before when they're young. Like people in my family, my dad and my grandfather passed away at young ages. Sure, my grandfather passed away from cirrhosis. My father passed away from cancer because he had an unhealthy lifestyle. He ate like shit. But you know, I don't want that to be my life. I don't want to die young. I prefer not to. If it happens, it happens. Like if I were to, I always think to myself, if I were to die young, I would rather, you know, I'd rather get shot at, by for helping somebody or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather there be a reason behind it rather than just degradation and slow, you know, the atrophying of of one's capabilities. Like that's scary to me. I think that's a lot scarier to me than somebody that just pulls out a gun and just like fucking point blank like eliminates me. I'm not saying I have a death wish, but you know what I mean. Yeah, no, slowly. I feel like this past week was pretty decent for things that I've intended to go ahead and do. I am also going back into performing with the church, and I'm playing for mass on Sundays, and it's good. I love it. I'm happy about it. Um, those type of things always make me happy. Um, Started hanging out again with the people in the music scene. And I've been intending on going ahead and doing that. And just noticing how much I've missed it. But here I am. Like I've been intending to do this video for like the past fucking like 2-3 days with like some sort of, you know, I'm just thinking about like having some highfalutin plan on how to go ahead and execute this, and rather than just go ahead and push record and just let fucking things go. Yeah, I like this though. The ability to just be able to go ahead and throw shit at the wall and hoping something sticks is great. Huh. Who knows where this ends up going though? I kind of wanted to go somewhere, to be quite honest. This would be a fun thing to do long term. perhaps this entire channel is just going to be me talking about going from 250 down to 200 and then working out, and then also just going ahead and getting myself to a point. Then just adding everything, just throwing everything against the wall. You know, maybe I start expressing my political opinions. Maybe I start playing and recording music and just showing you covers or like songs that I end up creating, which I'm hoping to go ahead and do too. There's a lot of potential here. I just don't see it that way. I don't have anybody just looking at this right now, but it's great to go ahead and just, you know, hunker down, talking to the ether, and then, you know, look back at exactly what the hell I was going on about. It feels good to be a novice in something that is enjoyable. I don't know what type of fear is holding me back, but it shouldn't be holding me back at all. I will enjoy this. I enjoy the people that I meet when it comes to this sort of industry too. They're amazing people, entertainers, fun, shooting the shit, you know. Different strokes for different folks, I guess. I mean, I like it. I enjoy it. I don't think I have anything else to say right now. Down the line, though, I am sort of intending to maybe upload. I'm not sure yet. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not gonna go ahead and give an exact number of how many videos I want to go ahead and do within a certain time frame. You know, nor do I just want to post into the ether like just constantly. You know, there's like this sort of like spewing schizophrenic sort of, you know, tangent and just going on about nothing. I want there to be some concreteness. But I also want some variety in it. There's structure. I think it's too early. Maybe it's too early. Maybe it isn't. Who knows? I was watching this whole video with like Tim Dillon a while back. I love Tim Dillon so much. And amid like the whole the ongoing shit show that is his podcast, the greatest fucking, oh god, I love that guy so much. He is so great. Some of his points are some of the most valid things I've ever seen in my life, but there was one that stood out to me the most, and I can't remember for the life of me, and I wish I could find it, and I would post it alongside this video, and I just go ahead and just like have it on there. But you know, he was going on about like this whole ability of expressing oneself honestly, and it's a person that like him, a person like him, I admire the most because he's just a guy that does not care. He does not give a shit. He does not care. He is willing to anger as many people as possible because at the end of the day, it's good comedy. I'm not saying I want to do that, but I also don't want to, you know, like looking at somebody like that, you know, that they stand on something. They stand on their principles. They have laurels. But it was just so beautifully put, and I can't believe I can't remember it. Horrible. Anyway, so we're hoping that this ends up being something useful. We're hoping that this ends up being something great for myself first, right? Isn't that how everything goes? It should be fun. It should be entertaining. I want this to also be, eventually I would want to open it up for suggestion. Have people go ahead and discuss shit. Who knows? I think it'll be fun. All right.